Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Especially welcome to a lot of new viewers. YouTube started pushing my videos like crazy, so I'm very happy to welcome you here. One small info, I'm not a native English speaker, so I usually put my script up at YouTube to let you have some subtitles. You can activate them if you want. Today, I try to beat Pokemon Gold as fast as possible with only an Ursaring. I am planning on doing these runs with every single Pokemon of Pokemon Gold to see which one is the fastest and therefore kinda best Pokemon of the second generation. So if you want to join me on this journey, I would be very happy to welcome you as a subscriber to my channel. And also, if you want to see a specific Pokemon soon, please let me know in the comments. Chances that your wish gets picked are still quite high. I just have one condition. Since I'm still learning and improving this game, please pick one of those that are either fully evolved or don't have evolution stages at all. So something like Feraligatr or Pinsir. I have a lot of ideas in my mind, but I also want to see which ones you would like to see. Well, today I picked Ursaring. That mainly is because I asked a friend which one I should use, and he immediately said, well, use Ursaring. We'll see how this Pokemon does today. It's more of a nondescript Pokemon, but it's an endgame Pokemon that has potential to do good. It's a piñata and we have to investigate what's inside. As usual, let's have a quick look into the stats first. It has 500 total base stats, which is a very solid amount. 90 HP usually don't do too much in these runs, but 130 attack for sure do. The biggest downside for Ursaring will be the 55 speed though. This means that Ursaring will very often go second in battles, which could lead to a lot of unwanted outcomes. 75 defense and special are quite fine though. With that, we can still utilize special attacks if needed. On the resistance side, it's done very quick. Ghost can't hit us at all, and fighting does hit super effective. Bruno will probably be dangerous, as well as Chuck. But now comes probably the most important thing, the moveset. Ursaring has access to a lot of great moves. It has access to all the elemental punches, which will come in very handy for Claire and Jasmine. It has access to Dig and Earthquake, two very powerful physical ground moves. Also, it has access to Rollout, which could be used. It starts with Fury Swipes, Leer, Scratch and Lick, and learns Feint Attack at 22, but the most important parts are of course the holy trio from Johto, Swift, Headbutt and Return. And the best thing, as if those moves aren't powerful enough by themselves, those are also getting boosted by Step. Meaning, Swift basically has 90 base power, Headbutt has 105 and Return has 153. If you then consider that after the first batch you get a 12.5% boost to your attack stat, and after the third gym, normal attacks also get boosted by another 12.5%, we are in for some very juicy attacks here. Ursaring could really surprise us in this one. Ursaring even is in a medium fast level group. It actually is the second worst out of the 4 leveling groups up until level 63 or 64, where it finally overtakes medium slow, but generally speaking, we defeat blue by about that level. So at red, the 2 medium level groups even out, but the medium slow group has the early advantage of fast levels. But this shouldn't hold Ursaring back. After all, it's not in the slow level group, which is great. That means that after Sprout Tower, Ursaring is at level 11. After the trainers in Falkner's gym, Ursaring is level 12, and with that, we battle Falkner. Fury Swipes immediately take out Pidgey. Pidgeotto is a bit tougher, and I need 2 usages on Fury Swipes while it attacked with Gust. But after all, that's a very easy first gym with a time of 27 minutes and 6 seconds. After Falkner, I went ahead and called a Bellsprout as my HM Mule for cut. It's pretty easy to encounter a Bellsprout on the way to Union Cave. And next, I went to set Union Cave. Here, I had to dodge a Tenor with the Onix, because it's not easy to defeat with a physical attacker. I also grabbed the TM for Swift. It won't be used for very long, but a 60 base power physical move is a really very good addition to my moveset. Then, I cleared Slowpoke well, and now I'm ready to encounter the rival battle in Azalea Town. I have thought Ursaring Mudslap for Ghastly. Luckily, it missed Hypnosis so that I can take it out. Then, against Zubat, a single Swift is enough, and against Furconor, thanks to the same type attack bonus, I only need 2 more Swifts to defeat my rival while it used Water Gun, but only dealt 9 damage in total. Next, I immediately go for Bugsy. Bugsy starts with Metapod. Swift almost takes off Metapod, which clearly shows how strong Ursaring is. Kakuna even gets taken out in a single hit. Scyther does outspeed Ursaring, which means it could build up a Fury Cutter, but ultimately 2 usages of Swift are enough to take out Scyther, and thus secure me the second batch very comfortably. After that, I pick up Headbutt in Alex Forest. I will teach it later because I want to perform the skip after Whitney to ensure a good time. I then grab the coin case and defeat some trainers in the underground. Then, at Witness Gym, I teach Headbutt to Ursaring, mainly because I have already used up all PP from Swift. Headbutt not only has 10 more base power, it also has a 30% chance to cause flinches, for which I hoped in the build in battle. Against Clefairy, I start with Headbutt and get a critical hit. I'm not sure whether I would have defeated it in one hit anyways, but it's still very welcome. Miltank outspeeds Ursaring and starts the rollout. It looks like I need 3 uses of Headbutt, so Warlord really started to build up. I have a good chance to interrupt it with a flinch, but I don't get it, and so it gets quite close with 30 HP left, but after all, not too close. I then quickly grab the squirt bottle and pick up Kenya from a guard in Goldenwood City. Then I went to the store and bought TM48 for Fire Punch, which will come in handy for Jasmine. I use almost all of the rest of my money to then pick up Arbor for 200 coins in the game corner. After leaving said game corner, I use Arbor to teleport back to Violet City. Well then, I head to Sudowoodo and run from it. Before now going to Morty, I will very quickly go to the National Park and pick up Trium 28 for Dig. Ground attacks are effective against poison Pokemon, and since Morty's Pokemon are all part poison, it will help Ursaring a lot for this gym. But before going to Morty's gym, I defeat the Kimono Girls to get HM03 for Surf, and I also picked up a Mintberry from the Mumu farm, which I, for safety reasons, forgot to equip. Ultimately, I teach Dig to Ursaring for Morty. I used Feint Attack for all the trainers in the gym, but Feint Attack is a special attack in this gen. It is faster because it's a one-turn move to knock out the weaker Pokemon, and Dig would have used 2 turns. But now for Morty, I need all the attack power that I can get. Against Ghastly, I outspeed and one-shot with Dig. One more thing that was crucial for this battle was to get to level 28. With that level, I can also outspeed the first Haunter, which I do. Gengar still will be faster than Ursaring all day, but it goes only for Mean Look before also going down to a single Dig. And last but not least, it's the final Haunter. It still feels wrong that this is Morty's ace, and Gengar isn't. I don't know why I outspeed here, but I do, and this results in another one-shot from Ursaring to secure the 4th badge. Afterwards, Ursaring levels up to 29, and I decide against rest for now. Before facing Chuck, I examine the lighthouse in Olivine City. While I'm here, I grab the rare candy for lighter usage. Then, I head to Jasmine, who told me that Ampharos is sick and needs medicine. I support this case, of course, and will head straight to Sudowoodo City to grab the medicine. But I don't have a surf mule yet, and so I catch a Krabby with the help of the rod from Olivine City. With that out of the way, I will battle Chuck. Chuck could have been dangerous, but Headbutt manages to one-shot the Primeape. And also, it two-shots the Poliwrath, which could have at least flipped the coil with the Dynamic Punch, but instead went for Mind Breeder, which did nothing. So, I get out and very swiftly grab the HM02 for flying and also the Secret Potion. I then head back to Jasmine and Ampharos as fast as I can. Jasmine gives Ampharos the medicine and it is cured immediately, which really helps because now Jasmine is ready to battle us for the 6th badge. Before doing so, I teach Fire Punch to Ursaring instead of Furious Swipes though. This attack will be very helpful for Jasmine. Magnemite opens, but I am well prepared for this gym. A single Fire Punch is enough to take it out. The exact same happens to the other Magnemite that Jasmine brings to the field. And finally, Jasmine brings Steelix, which takes a Fire Punch. It deals about half, and Steelix lands Iron Tail, which dealt about 40 damage, but another Fire Punch is enough to take out Steelix and secure the 6th gym build for me. Before going through the Rocket Hideout, I quickly grab another rare candy at the Lake of Rage, and then I sweep through the Rocket Hideout. I like to use this short section to talk a bit about the Pokemon and the thoughts so far up until this point of the game where I'm in. Ursaring at this point is truly outstanding. The performance up until now is on Alakazam level, which was untouched up until this one for a few runs now. To underline how good Ursaring is, the berry that it is holding is still the very first one that it gets when you select your Pokemon. Besides the battle against Whitney, Ursaring has never been below half health. The only turn where it was, Ursaring won the battle in the same turn so that the berry couldn't trigger. The high attack stat, combined with the amazing normal moves, the likes of Headbutt and Return, really changed how I see normal Pokemon in this generation. I'm quite confident that Ursaring will clock in at a very nice time here, because there's no reason to assume that things are going to change. So far, the 55 base speed did not get problematic, but this might change. With the likes of Return around the corner, I even think it will only improve even more. But there is still a lot to do for Ursaring before finishing this one at a great time. The first thing on the list? Price. Well, before I face him, I get Return, Ice Punch and Thunder Punch from the market in Goldenwood City. And also, I forgot the radio card, which I did real quick. As a last action before Price, I teach Return to Ursaring instead of Headbutt, and there Ursaring is ready to go. Seal takes the one-shot from return. Dugong, besides being higher level and having better defense, also is a one-shot from return. Piloswine enters the fray, and I go for Ice Punch, but Piloswine barely hangs on. It used Blizzard and hit, but didn't deal too much. Price then used the potion to heal up, and the very next return, thanks to a range roll, knocks out Piloswine in a single hit. Next on the list is the rival battle during the radio takeover. Golbat goes down to a single use of return. Magnemite then goes down to a single Fire Punch and Haunter comes in. This Haunter still has Curse, so it still is dangerous. But I still have Dig, which knocks Haunter out. Against Sneasel I misclick for Feint Attack, which is bad, but afterwards a Fire Punch also knocks it out. And then Return almost knocks out Feraligatr, which retaliates with a Bite, but ultimately a final Return is enough to take it out as well. After I have cleared the Radio Tower from the rockets, I quickly grab the Pink Bow from this nice lady. Pink Bow will strengthen my normal moves even more, increasing their power by another 10%. Then I grab the HM7 and catch a Poliwag, which will serve as my mule for Whirlpool and Waterfall. With that, I'm ready to face Claire. Dragon Pokemon are weak to ice attacks, and for that exact reason I have Ice Punch in my arsenal. I guess Return would have dodged John just as well, to be fair, but it just feels right to hit these Dragonairs with Ice Punches. I don't think that you still underestimate the sheer amounts of damage that Ursaring can deal with Return, but just in case you do, watch closely as Ursaring one-shots Kingdra with said Return. Kingdra usually is a tank. Instead of handing us the badge immediately, Claire needs to be a very annoying gym leader by giving us a challenge to go to the Dragon's Den and collect the Dragon Fang that lies around. What a great challenge. Finally, we get the final badge of Johto and are ready to face the Elite Four. But before that, I swiftly grab some more rare candies. One south of Goldenwood, another one at Mount Mortor, one in Violet City, and a final one on Route 27. Then, at Victory Road, I pick up Team 26 for Earthquake. I teach Earthquake right before the upcoming rival battle because it serves as a very nice upgrade to Dig. And with that, it's time to face the rival one last time just before the Elite Four. He starts with Sneasel, which is easy prey for my Fire Punch. Golbat gets taken up by Ice Punch. Magneton is then quickly dealt with Fire Punch. Against Haunter, I used the just learned Earthquake. As for Kadabra, which also falls in a single hit. Feraligatr is the only Pokemon that does not get one shot, surviving an Earthquake but ultimately falling to Return afterwards. We are ready for the Elite Four. Will starts with Xadu, which is a one shot from Ice Punch. Jinx gets dealt with by a single use of Return. Against Executor, I got a lucky crit from Fire Punch. I'm quite sure I would not have been able to deal enough damage without the crit, but I take it. Against Slowbro, I get another crit from Return, which also gets knocked out in a single hit. Amazing Starfree from Ursaring, really shining in the right moments. And finally, another Xatu that has no chance against Ice Punch. That concludes to 5 attacks and 5 defeated Pokemon, which is good. The second battle against Koga starts off with Ariados. Ariados has no chance against Fire Punch. Next is Venomoth, but against a Return with that much power and even another critical hit, it has nothing to say. Well, the crit was not mandatory, I guess. Fortress is double weak to fire, so obviously Fire Punch also takes it out. Next out is Muk, and it goes down to another one shot from Return. Crobat comes out, and it has very high speed, which lets it attack before I can do. It goes only for Toxic, and then my Return is able to take it out in another one shot. So this means it's 10 attacks and 10 defeated Pokemon. Let's see how long I can keep this going. Now probably comes the hardest opponent of the Elite Four, because Bruno's Pokemon could deal a lot of damage to Ursaring. But thanks to Ursaring's high level, it's still able to outspeed all of his Pokemon. Bruno sets Hitmontop to the field, and Return is enough to take it out. Hitmonlee also feints to a single Return. Next up is Hitmonchan, which starts with Mach Punch. Mach Punch as Quick Attack is a move that has priority, but although it's a physical fighting move, it deals almost no damage. But my Return instead deals a lot of damage, so Hitmonchan is defeated. Machamp comes in, but you guessed it, Return takes it out. So last but not least is Onix. Return will not knock out Onix with that 152 defense, and that's why I go for Ice Punch, which then takes out Onix in another one shot. So we're at 15 for 15. I should play the lottery. What a smooth transition, huh? Because the next opponent is the said lottery. And Umbreon finally is the first Pokemon that survives a hit from Ursaring. And then Umbreon does what Umbreon does. It uses Sand Attack, but I am able to defeat it in the very next turn. Next comes Vileplume, and I thought Fire Punch would knock it out, but it doesn't. and Karen makes things worse by using Stun Spore. This not only paralyzes Ursaring, but also reduces its speed by 75%. Now Ursaring will go second in all battles. After Petal Dance, I am able to defeat Vileplume though. Karen then sends Gengar into battle. And what could Gengar do that would lower my chances of winning even more? Exactly, it could use Curse. Which it did. Now chances are looking very bad to win this battle. It gets even worse because Ursaring can't attack. Since Gengar can't do anything else, it goes for another Curse which does nothing, and then Ursaring luckily knocks out Gengar with Earthquake. Mercury is easy prey for Ice Punch, but Ursaring only has 89 HP left. I need to survive a hit from Houndoom, which outspeeds now, and then I also need to one-shot it. Let's see. It goes for Flamethrower, which does not deal enough damage, and then Ursaring hits with Return, which knocks out Houndoom. What a battle, and what a comeback from Ursaring. Never would I have thought that a Pokemon could overcome all these hurdles of Sand Attack, Stun Spore, and Curse, and still be able to win this battle. It's time for the champion. I heal up, and off we go. Return one-shots Gyarados, and because Ice Punch is 4 times effective against Dragonite, this is more than enough to take out both Dragonites with ease. Aerodactyl takes 2 Ice Punches after a Hyper Beam, which only dealt 50. Charizard then takes a one-shot from Return, and finally the last Dragonite also goes down to Ice Punch. That finally means, after the Pokemon League, Ursaring has a time of 4 hours, 40 minutes and 26 seconds. This is very close to Alakazam. So now comes the biggest skip in this video of the whole playthrough. I now have 15 badges, and I'm ready to face Blue, the penultimate challenge of this game. Pidgeot goes down to a single return. Since Alakazam is faster, it starts with Reflect. Still, with a setup Reflect, Alakazam basically has 0 defense and thus goes down to another single return. Against Raiden, I don't realize that Reflect is up, and so I go for Earthquake, which deals only a third. It sets up Sandstorm, but then I switch to Ice Punch to knock Raiden out. Next comes Gyarados. Since Reflect is still up, Return does not one-shot it, and so it uses Rain Dance. Smart choice from Blue, because this now ends the Sandstorm. Another Return then takes out Gyarados. Executor takes a Fire Punch, which dealt way less damage than I expected. But I get the burn. Executor then goes for Leech Seed, and finally Reflect fades. Another Return takes out Executor then. Finally it's onto Arcanine. Although I have more speed, it uses Extreme Speed, another priority move like Quick Attack. But after that, my Earthquake lands and it takes out Arcanine. Now I have all the 16 badges. I collect the final rare candy and give all of the rare candies to Ursaring, pushing its level to 73, and off we go towards the battle with Red. Pikachu is really dangerous from the first second. It easily outspeeds Ursaring and it has access to Charm, which could lower my attack. It even uses Charm, but to my luck it misses. This means I can knock it out with Return. Immediately after comes another Pokemon that outspeeds Ursaring, Espion. It starts with Reflect, which has to its consequence that my following Return does not knock it out. Then it goes for Psychic, which deals about 100 damage, and since my Return still did over half, I go for another Return to take it out. Next, Red sends Snorlax into battle. Still Return is my best choice, and so I go for it. I even get a critical hit, which results in a clean one-shot from Snorlax. This is pure power. Venusaur now can mix up things a bit though. I go for Ice Punch and get very lucky again because I get the lucky 10% freeze. Another Ice Punch follows since I need the Reflect to fade before Charizard, and after a second Ice Punch it indeed does fade. This means I can knock out Venusaur with Return. Now it's onto Charizard. Charizard still outspeeds Ursaring, and it has also access to a very powerful step move in the likes of Flamethrower. Flamethrower really hits hard, but Ursaring hangs on. And then I get a third lucky hit in a row. Return crits, again knocking out Charizard. I know for sure that otherwise Charizard would have survived, and if I had to tank another Flamethrower, this battle would have been much closer. Red sends in his final Pokemon, Blastoise. Return is over half, which is good, and Blastoise goes for Rain Dance, which usually isn't the worst choice, but since another Return could knock it out, Rain Dance doesn't really help. And so it is, a final Return knocks out Red's Blastoise, and I've completed the game. So Ursaring finishes Sweat with a time of 5 hours, 30 minutes and 56 seconds. But I haven't been fully honest to you about the Red fight. It looks like I got this in the first try, but in reality, I didn't. It took 18 resets to defeat Red. Up until him, I had exactly 0, but Pikachu with Charm and Venusaur with Sunny Day really were some tough gatekeepers. After Blue, Ursaring even overtook Alakazam, but after Red, Ursaring is only 32 seconds behind Alakazam. Well, if you take the 18 resets into consideration, Ursaring's final time is 5 hours, 38 minutes and 36 seconds, which still leads to a very solid second place here. After all, Ursaring really surprised me. This bear is faster than Dragonite and Tyranitar, which balls up pseudo-legendaries, and this one overall was really fun. At no point besides reds I had worries about any battle. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, have a great day and see you in the next one. God, I love this song.